Shalom Israel, this is Zephaniah Yasha'Allah with today's lesson called The Enemy. The next daily dose. Hold on. Daily dose. These are daily dose Jones. I've been saying I'm going to start doing. Try to get them off every day. Try to get them off. Try to get them off every day. Daily dose. This Jones about the enemy. Cause our people need to know. They don't think these devils are our enemies. What they do, they just kill. They just let. I heard they just killed. When I heard, I seen somebody posted something about now the police went in a so-called black woman house and killed her. I guess not. You know what I mean? I guess so. If you can go in a black man house and shoot him, talking about Amber gangster, and shoot him, and all you get is a slap on the wrist, a hug, and a Bible, and the victim's brother, family member, saying he basically didn't wish you ain't getting no time. That's what's going on with our community, man. Our people is walking around sleepwalking, thinking this evil kingdom just gonna keep going on like the way it's gonna go. It's not gonna keep going the way that this evil kingdom is not gonna keep going the way people think it's gonna go. It's just not. It's just not. These devils, they didn't create this earth, the heavens. They ain't create nothing they using now. Everything they created is killing the earth and the people. So how people gonna think they gonna be ruling another 500 years, another 1,000 years, and we still gonna be how they got this kingdom set up? It's still we still just gonna be slaves here. Still working for the white man, still paying them taxes, still paying for everything. Free water, we gotta pay for eating diseased food, getting medicines that's keeping you sick. Just everything we getting to consume, the water, the air, the food, the medicine, all this stuff that's tainted, is poison. This earth don't need no reset button because our people destroyed. What Hosea 4:6 say? For my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Since they rejected knowledge, the Most High God said, I will reject thee. Yeah. So that's what's going on. You know what I mean? Our people rejecting the knowledge. They don't have no knowledge. They don't understand these devils is our enemy. Like. So let's get into it. First, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, the God that created the heavens and the earth, the God that'll put you to death, that can put you to death for anything. Uh, the God that gave me the wisdom, the power, and the faith to put these lessons together, to keep opening my spirit and my mind up, the understanding, and that's guide me in this truth. Um, some honor and glory to the next ruler of this earth, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Um, and Shalom to all the Israelites scattered abroad. Greeting. So books we use in the day: King James Version Bible, King James Version Apocrypha. Um, got this book right here. When I Was a Slave. We gonna get into that jump. and this other book called The Religious Instruction of the Negroes in the United States. Basically, this book right here, I'm gonna get into it about this book, these two books when I get to them. So we're gonna start off, like I said before, I'm gonna start doing daily medicine. You know what I mean? Try to be active, proactive every day. I still ain't got it down. I talked to my cousin that's a computer tech yesterday. Said I need software as far as tightening my videos up. But I ain't got it down. I'm about to get another computer because I think that's the reason why I'm not downloading my videos like in a real, like in one day, short period of time. You know what I mean? Something I ain't doing right. But so I'm doing this joint today, but it might don't post tomorrow. You know what I mean? I gotta get it down where I can post every day. You know what I mean? I just did my last installment to the it posted yesterday to the Israelite Earth jump. I probably gonna do another conclusion to that jump. And yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, so let's dive in. Let's get into it. So anybody knowing this truth come across this video, like I reached out to some of my cousins, you know what I mean? Got to feed them the truth and all that. They subscribe to the channel and all that. Um, you know, and yeah. So anybody come across this junk right here, daily medicine, what's going on is we in a kingdom of lies. This whole kingdom is a kingdom of lies. They lying about everything. Lying about going into space when the scriptures prove that that's a lie, and the fact that space ain't the area up there is not how they saying it is. And everything that the Most High God got set up, they flipped it upside down because they hate the Most High. You know what I mean? I got a class coming called the Kingdom of the Beast 666. 666, the Kingdom of the Beast. You know what I mean? Some slight I put together the you know the prove that these when Revelation 13 and 18 talking about the beast, his number is 666. It's the number of a man. To prove that it's talking about the so-called white man. So I'm gonna show in a lot of different ways how they put it out there that that's their number, and they acknowledge they the beast that Revelation's talking about. To prove these scriptures is the truth, basically. You know what I mean? And you know, our people need to know the Most High God about to kill a rock of people, man. Rock our people and these other nations and all that. He about to basically reset the earth and put it the way that it was intended to be. You know what I mean? And our people need to know what they need to do so they don't get caught up in the destruction that's coming. Because they walking around blind and sleep. Because Esau, that the so-called white man, his biblical name is Esau. So he got this kingdom set up like a big amusement park. You know what I mean? If you look at what's going on around you, they got the Coliseums where they play football, soccer. They even transform the Coliseum so they can have concerts and do other little stuff. They had them in ancient Rome. So we basically living in a a high level version of Rome, Greece, and ancient Babylon. It's all them kingdoms rolled up in one. You know what I mean? And Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Earth. America is all that stuff in one. So it's this. You got everything here to keep you distracted. Like in Babylon, they had a day, every day you can worship another day. You know what I mean? Here they even got hot dog day, hamburger day, bed day, donut day, coffee day, birthdays, these fake holidays. They got any day you want. They got for you to follow to keep you sidetracked. You know what I mean? Because it's a conspiracy against the Israelites, the Negroes, and the descendants from the Negroes to keep us sinning. Because long as we sinning and not coming turning back to the Most High, he gonna keep us at the bottom. Because what he said in Amos, was it Amos 9 and 10? Let's see why he punted, why he picked singling us out and had us in bonds for 500 years, and it's ongoing. Let's see why. Let's see why he did it. Know what I mean? Amos, hold up. Hold on. I went to Amos 9 and 10. That's something else. Let me go to this right here. Hold on, where that Joan at? I know I just had it. when I was in the streets, and I could tell, you know what I mean? Oh, he off, or I can see what direction somebody going in, and 90% of the time they going that direction. But I seen it before it happened. That's the same thing we doing right now. That's why he choose certain men with them gifts to be his prophets. You know what I mean? We ain't making up no new words saying this gonna happen, whatever. We applying the truth that the prophets of old been spoke to what we seeing right now. We applying it to our history book so we can know what's going on and teach our people and guide them. Cause it ain't nothing but lies. Soon as our kids get in elementary, the first thing they learn is we were slaves here. That's all they learn. They don't learn who they really is or nothing. They just tell them they was Africans. They got scooped up and dropped off, and we was picking cat. That's all we learn. And these sellouts, they keep giving us the act like they was fighting for us when they was Freemasons working for the so-called white man, the devil. So, verse 71, that it say he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. Well, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham. So that's what we under right now. It say he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So keeping you in bondage for 400 years, ain't that hate? Throwing your babies to alligators, ain't that hate? Ain't that hate? Keeping us at the bottom of society, ain't that hate? Killing us, killing unarmed black men, ain't that hate? Black men and women, ain't that hate? That's hate. Making sure we can't get loans, making sure it's hard for us to get a real nice house, making sure we ain't got no businesses, making sure we dependent on a system. Ain't that hate? That's hate right there. Let's go to Psalms and let's see who all in this stuff together, man. Um, go to Psalms. Let's see, Psalms 83. Psalms 83. 83, 1 through 6. This David. No. This is a song of Asaph. It say, keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee have lifted up the head. So our enemies, it say they make a tumult. They making a commotion about what they need to do. It say they lifted up the head. They got puffed up. You know what I mean? Yeah, we need to do this to them niggas, them Negroes, this, that, and the third. Yeah, let's do it. They got big headed. It say they have taken crown, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So that's what they do up on there on the United Nations. They sit up there and make rules on how to keep the Negroes down under. They up there making other decisions too, but it's a big conglomerate on how they can stay in power. You know what I mean? And keep us down. Because they know who we is. We just don't know. It's a they and the hitting ones is us, the Israelites. Because we hitting because don't nobody know who we is. Far as our people. And it's like they got us tucked away over here in America as Africans in all the slums and all the little cuts and niches in America, away from all the good spots and all that. So you now hardly seeing us because ain't nobody coming to the hood to go but drug addict white people. They starting to try to gentrify and move in our communities now, but they just now doing that. For so long, other nations, white, they already had their own communities. They wasn't coming to our community, so we was the hitting ones. It's a they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more remembrance. So Israel just mean the prince of the power. Israel was the name of the man Jacob, our forefather, our great grandfather. His name was Jacob. The Most High changed his name to Israel, which means prince of the power. So we the princes of the power. And he had 12 sons where we descend from. You know what I mean? We the real Jews that the book speak of. You know what I mean? It say, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, and the name of Israel be no more remembrance. So that's what's going on. Our people, our name is not a remembrance. Our people don't remember that we the Israelites. Don't, you know, people on a high level know, but even the average white man, the average, these other, they don't know. These Americanized average people don't know, but a lot of people that's just coming from overseas or grow up overseas, they know. You know what I mean? They know who we is. Cause I seen a heathen lady. She made a video and said, I heard y'all don't know who y'all are. Y'all the Israelites. Y'all the true Jews. She said, we need y'all to come back to the Holy Land because basically she was saying stuff out of order over there. The land won't hardly grow nothing. It's just too much going on. People that really know the history of this earth and who's who. This what a woman from another nation said. She said, we heard y'all don't know who y'all are. The Negroes in America. She said, y'all the true Jews of the Bible. God's chosen people. That's what she said. That's how bad our people don't know who they is. A woman from another nation, she said it. She put a video out to say that. Then you got videos with a white man saying it. The white man that don't agree with what his people doing, they coming out and saying it. This truth coming out more and more and more. You know what I mean? But like I said, our people over here so brainwashed, you can't tell them nothing, man. Can't tell them. The white man, they God. You know, he got them so wrapped up in wickedness, he they God. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So that means all these nations I'm about to name, they working together to keep us at the bottom. That's why they can go get loans and come in our community and start businesses with no problem, because that's going to keep us oppressed. So the white man can sit back and say, I ain't doing it. That's them. That's the Chinese man doing. He a snake like that. Yeah, that's the Chinaman right there, because he a scared devil. They don't want to set up in our community because they know they scared of getting robbed and beat up and all that. So they'll send a Chinaman in our community, the Arab, the East Indian man, the Korean man, the Japanese man, all these different nations, these Africans, they give them the money to do it. The Negroes they ain't gonna mess with y'all. You know what I mean? It's a smoke screen. Our people ain't peeping what's going on. It's the tabernacles of Edom, verse 6. Edom. That's the biblical name of the so-called white man. And the Ishmaelites, the biblical name of the Arabs. Of Moab, the biblical name of the Chinese people. And the Hagarenes, the biblical name of some Africans. Jabal, more Africans. And Ammon, the Japanese, that's their biblical name. And Amalek, the fake Jews. Pale-faced devils over in Israel dying from skin cancer at alarming rate. How's you the chosen people? Went over there in London before the 1400s, they was worshiping all black images. That's what they was doing. They was sticking to what the real truth was. It say the Philistines in the habit is a Tyre, Esau, the white man. You know what I mean? It say Assyrians also was joined with them. They have helping the children of Lot. The children of Lot is the Japanese and the Chinese. You know what I mean? So all them together, they're keeping us down. They're keeping us thinking we Africans. They're keeping us trusting in oppression that we going through. Keeping us not waking up to the fact we the gods of this planet. You know what I mean? We the prince and princesses. The kings and princesses, the gods and princesses of this earth. You know what I mean? Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's see why. Ezekiel 35 and 5. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. It say, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You know what I mean? So these peoples kill us with the gun, man. That's all they do. It say with the force of the sword. It say perpetual. Perpetual mean forever. So these devils gonna always hate us. Our people don't understand. You got a lot of these black women, they thinking one day we all gonna get along. Because them emotions control the way they think. You know what I mean? White man done gave them a job. They saying Superman, Batman. They saying all these fake superheroes the white man be playing, and he fake always trying to be the hero to put emotions on you to love him. You know what I mean? When he the devil on a planet. Let's go to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach 12 and 6. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee in a pit. So these devils always talking about, oh, we all bleed the same. Oh, it's about love. It's about love. Like these devils really love us, man. Went over and over and over and over. They show us they hate us. They always talking this love stuff, but they don't never show it. And when we call them out on it, they want to run. They want to keep playing semantics. And like back in the day, that white man just say, we gave them welfare. We gave them food stamps. We don't hate them. Throwing us crumbs. We give them jobs, paying them $5 an hour, $8 an hour back in the day. That's all you was getting minimum wage, 8 and 5. Might get 650 part time. We give them job, we give them this when they living in mansions, own all these corporations, making all these big deals and all that, controlling the world. We sitting in the slums and the hoods and the low. We get the bad portions of the land. But they always saying they love us. Let's go back. It's saying the enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee in a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he had found opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So that's what they do. They fake like they remorseful when one of ours get killed. Sandra Bland, other shit. They'll put one of their flunkies up there that speak good. They'll put them up there and have them acting like, a tragedy done happened. They really sorry and all that. But what it say? It say he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So that's what they do. They fake like they with us and all that, but every chance they get, they killing us. I mean, every chance. They say the woman, the day I seen it, police ran in a woman's house and killed her. And like I said, I guess so. When when you gonna look at it like shit, I can kill a nigga and I'm gonna get a hug from the judge, a hug from their family, a Bible, a pat on the back, and they gonna tell me, I hope you don't do no time. So why not kill some more niggas? Come on, man. Verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. So that's what they do. They always fake play the hero. They'll pick a nigga to do something for a woman. They'll do it to make themselves look good for the camera, for TV. And then when you check on to the story later, like it was this woman had some kids. They fake showed her on the news, bought her kids gifts and all that for Christmas, I think. We checked on the story. They ain't did nothing since that. So they always doing stuff for show to make themselves look like the hero, man. That's how these devils operate. It say, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So that's what they do. Like they gave the black woman welfare, but the stipulation was you couldn't have no man in it. So what if you was married at the time, but y'all just was on hard times? You saying the man can't be in it, and they need their help at the time. Because at one time, it was real hard for Negroes to get jobs. And if you had a felony, your ass wasn't getting no job. They just now started letting felons get jobs and all that. But it's too late. We already destroyed. So it ain't nothing to let a few jail Negroes get some jobs to make it seem like, oh, it's equal opportunity when everybody's so far ahead of us, it don't matter now. I don't care how many jobs we get, what kind of jobs. The other nations and the so-called white man, they've been stacking so long, we ain't gonna never catch them. We ain't gonna never catch these peoples, man. They always pretend they always do that. They always do that. What's another way? It's a if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretends to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So don't these politicians do that? Don't they fake? What was the big thing that the Republicans ain't for us, but the Democrats is? Well, they basically two sides of the same coin. Our people still waiting for these politicians to look out and do something for us. When they not. They not. It's evidence they not gonna do it. They pretended they get up there. They had a good speech. Yeah, we need to do more for the African American community. You know what I mean? Get up there, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Devil Clinton, all these people, man, they get up there, give you a speech. They might fake talk about eating fried chicken and all that, like they down and they hip. They'll say something to make you feel like they hip. What they do when Bill Clinton played the saxophone? Oh, he black. Cause he knew how to play a saxophone. All he did was sit around and mimic and study Negroes and mimic Negroes, man. That's all he did. That's all he did, man. But when Negroes heard him do that, would they say, "Oh, he black. Bill Clinton black." But Bill Clinton was a devil. Him and his wife, him and his wife, they was responsible for so many Negroes going to jail, man. So many. They was responsible. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton locked so many Negroes up. But they was Democrats. They locked so, man, in the 90s, early 90s, the late, man, Bill Clinton them was some devils, man. Man, you might sell one stone and get 10 years. Yeah, that's how vicious they was. You know what I mean? Let's go to Obadiah 4. So let's see who this person is that's gonna pretend like he like you. Let's go to the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So whose symbol is the eagle? The United States. They glorify that bald eagle. And all these countries around the world, they got an eagle symbol. They under the United States, man. These devils got bases all around the world. Let's go. Let's prove it. Let's go to Job 9 and 24. Let's prove it. Let's prove it. The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. It say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So what I just say, who running the earth right now? Who the devil that I just seen a video where a whale scooping big gulps of plastic, man. It's billions of tons of plastic floating in the ocean. They don't show that part. You know what I mean? It came out though. You know what I mean? I forgot what was that I was looking at, and it showed a whale scooped up some plastic. But they matter of fact, they cut the whale's stomach open, and he had this tons of plastic in his stomach. Who the devil who poisoning the egg? You know what I mean? Who the devil that putting all this stuff in the water, making you think it's good? I'm about to bring it out in my devil's medicine class. Well, who the devil that do that? Put stuff in your water, make you think it's good, these heavy metals and all that. You know how you can tell? Because when you take a bath, you be feeling like your skin burning off. You know what I mean? It's these devils. These devils go in people countries, they start wars, and then come over there like the hero. You know what I mean? You got a resource in your country, they coming to get it. Because the Most High gave them, that was his blessing. He was going to have the fatness of the earth. We going to get to that. So it say, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. So who's the judges? It ain't Judge Judy. It ain't Judge Joe Brown. It ain't none of these fake judges, man. The real judges of the earth is the Israelites, man. That's ordained by the Most High God, Yahweh, man. It say they gonna cover the faces of the judges thereof. Let's go get into it. Let's get some more proof on that and see why they doing stuff like that. So when these devils came back in the 1400s during the Renaissance period, that's when they did all this stuff. Let's go to First Maccabees 4 chapter, no, First Maccabees 3 and 48. It say, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen laid sort to paint the likeness of their images. So the heathen is the other nations. You see heathen in the Bible, it's talking about the other nations. So-called white man too, because he the main, you don't see no Bibles with no Chinese Christ in it. No Chinese, the God painted as a Chinese, because they got their own gods. They believe, Chinese believe in Buddha. The East Indians believe in Krishna. The Arabs, they believe in Allah. So come on now. Who the one got who the one got their own who the one who took our book and changed all the images around? These devils. They the ones that did that. It say, and laid open the book of the law. This is a book of laws on how to live, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. So who you see with their images of Christ, the prophets, God, and whoever else? It's the so-called white man. They the one that did that. Let's get some more on it. First Thessalonians, First Thessalonians, let's go. First Thessalonians 2 verse 3. First Thessalonians 2 verse 3 and 4. So that First Thessalonians chapter 2, it must be Second Thessalonians. It say, so they changed the images, our images, because when you go over there in Europe and all that, they still got the Madonna, Virgin Mary black, and Christ black and all that. It say, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except they come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So it's telling you right there that they're going to be revealed, the son of perdition. It's going to reveal the man that basically who doing all this stuff. It say, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So don't these devils do that? What I just heard Trump say today, we ain't, what do you say? We ain't got no and what kind of military somebody said they had? He said we only got the greatest military ever assembled. He talking about we only, he said he said we got the greatest military ever assembled. So that's how he puffed himself up to showing himself as God. We can go into the heavens like God. We can create new food and all this stuff that's effing up. So that gotta be talking about them. They the main ones who doing this stuff, who started the trend of it. Other nations might be following them because it say the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America, got the world drunk off the wine of her fornication. So that means everything. Homosexuality, the tampering of genetics in the food, and playing around with the Most High creations and lying about going in space and all that. All of them doing it now because they got it from these devils. So I'm about to go on a book, When I Was a Slave. Yeah, am I going at When I Was a Slave first? Yeah, let me see. No, When I Was a Slave. No. So now we about to go into this book right here, The Religious Instruction of the Negroes. So basically, this book right here was written by Charles Colcock Jones. We about to see who he is. Charles Cole. I had it pulled up. I should have pulled it up. Yeah, this devil was a let's go to it. He was a fake. He was a all right, here we go. So he wrote this book, and this book was originally published in 1842. He was born in 1804 to 1863 from Liberty County, Georgia. So his education, Phillips Academy, Andover Theological Seminary, Princeton Theological Seminary, and Jefferson College. His occupation was a planter and a clergyman and an educator, so called. Let's go to his biography. We jump down. It say he served as a pastor of the First Presbyterian Church and all that. It say he spent the remainder of his life supervising his 3 plantations. So this devil, he wrote this book basically telling you how you gotta give the Negroes some type of religion to keep them loyal slaves. Basically is what I ain't analyzed the whole book. I ain't studied the whole book. I scanned through it to get what I needed for this little lesson. That's what he basically that's what he was about. Telling slave masters how they had to make sure they slaves had religion to keep them, the free slaves and the regular slaves, to keep them in order or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's get into page 120, 123. Page 123. He said, the Negroes require preaching specially adapted to them. You know what I mean? They wasn't feeling these devils. It is true. They are received into and are under the watch and care of white churches. But the fact does not prove that they are properly enlightened. So these devils, they had them following white Jesus and all that. But this devil just told you right there they wasn't properly enlightened. Because they know they wasn't getting the truth of the scriptures. Let's jump down. It's the Sabbath schools for their exclusive benefit, taking the entire population needs scarcely be named. The plantation meetings serve to keep alive religion among them, but contribute little to the increase of their intelligence. So this devil who was a slave owner, he just told you right there. They was having a little meetings about religion to keep it going and all that. But what he say? keep alive religion among them, but contribute little to the increase of their intelligence. It say, while there are hundreds of plantations where there are no such meetings at all, there being few or no church members to come. Okay, let me go back. To contribute little to the increase of their intelligence. So they weren't learning who they was, their nationality. They can feel it in their spirit. That's why they wasn't really buying in. They just going along. You know what I mean? Jump down. It say we had, so he basically saying the white preachers wasn't getting to the Negroes. They wasn't getting to them. He said, we have colored ministers and exhorters, but their numbers are wholly inadequate to supply of the Negroes. And while their ministrations are infrequent and conducted in great weakness, there are some of them whose moral character is justly suspected and who may be considered blind leaders of the blind. So it's a some of them whose moral character is justly, it didn't say unjustly, it said justly suspected and who may be considered blind leaders of the blind. So Negroes were seeing on them plantations that a lot of them pastors were sellouts. Say they was blind. This coming from a white theological major. He went to two theological schools and he studied about keeping the Negroes in religion. You know what I mean? He just told you right there. He said even when they gave us so-called black pastors, Negroes whose spirit was still connected to Yahweh knew that they was leading them astray. So he basically saying they still wasn't really getting into a bulk of them like they wanted to. Let's go to page 128. 128. He said, although I hope I am a Christian, yet I am not qualified to instruct my servants. You are not in giving them saving instruction from the word of God. So he just told you. He said, although I hope I hope I am a Christian. Does he know he really not? He said, yet I am not qualified to instruct my servants. You are not in giving them saving instruction from the word of God. Either expected or required to give them a theological education or a complete understanding of the whole Bible. So that's what they had to do. He basically saying they had to wait. He said he wasn't qualified to give them the real saving truth of God. Because he had slaves. And the slave master not gonna give them the truth of the Bible, because if they did, all the slaves would just rebel. That's why he said he's not adequate. He said, yet I am not qualified. He went to two theological schools and said, I am not qualified to instruct my servants. And said, you are not. And giving them saving instruction from the word of God. Either expected or required to give them a theological education. That he just said it right there. You know what I mean? So this devil that fake knew the Bible and all that, he knew. They couldn't tell Negro. What he say? He said either expected or required to give them a theological education or a complete understanding of the whole Bible. See, he wasn't going to do that. And he basically, let's get some more. He say the grand points of doctrine and of duty, the things essential to be believed and to be done, are what you understand and have an experience of. If you are a Christian and if you will be a little pains, you may be able to make others understand. Stand them also. Meaning, if you was a Christian that went through some stuff, it's a, and you can give them the reasons why they should embrace them. For the reasons had weight with you and operate in their influence upon you continually. The very least expected of a Christian is that he read the scriptures and pray in his family day by day. If you can do no more, you can assemble your servants and read a portion of scripture and pray with them, if not every day, then as frequently during the week as your circumstances will admit of. So he just showed you how Pastor Porkchop and them do. He said read a couple of scriptures and pray with them and all that, and that's all he gonna get you. You know what I mean? But he basically is trying to fake lay the blueprint down on how you keep Negroes brainwashed with the Christianity stuff. You know what I mean? They ain't get. He said the complete understanding of the whole Bible. You see any? Oh, hold on. All right, I'm gonna go to that later on down. Okay, let's go to page 171. 171. It say when a master is impressed with his obligations to his servants and acts in view of eternity, he will find himself strengthened and made willing not only to undertake but to do a great deal for them. It should, however, not be disguised that the planner who undertakes the religious instruction and moral improvement of his people must look upon it in the light of labor. He necessarily undergoes, at least for a time, greater trials and expense. Let's keep going. He is obligated to correct all the bad habits of government, all the debasing thoughts in relation to the Negroes, which may unconsciously prevail in himself. He is obligated to correct what is manifestly wrong in his own deportment on his plantation, and to live up that Christianity which he would teach. So that's what they was teaching Christianity. But what they read on the page before that, on the page you read before that, what it say? You don't see, look, you don't see no fringes, no beard, none of that. But you see the three white people right there. You see these Negroes, they ain't got their garments on. They ain't got no fringes on. They ain't got no beard or none of that stuff. So that's what they was teaching Christianity. That's what they was teaching them. That's what they was teaching them. All right, let's go to. So he said Christianity that they would teach, but Christianity don't teach the laws. See that? You don't see no fringes, no nothing, no nothing on their garments, man. You don't see none of that stuff. That so he said Christianity what they should teach. So let's go to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers chapter 15 verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel that they make fringes on the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and they put on fringe in the borders a ribbon of blue. But do it look like they got them on here? Nah. So they was teaching Christianity, man. If they not teaching us, the Most High commanding us to wear fringes throughout our generations. So if they was really for us and really follow God, they'd have been telling us, man, y'all need to wear fringes on the borders of y'all garments. That's what they'd have been doing. They ain't doing that. This is how you remember the commandments through your fringes. Let's go to another commandment that they ain't teaching. Let's go to another one. The book of Leviticus 19, verse 27. It says, ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy bed. So shaving your head bald is an Egyptian custom for the dead. That's their custom. And cutting your bed off, you know what I mean? It do it look like they got beds on their face? Nah, they ain't got no beds on their face. So he said Christianity they should teach. Why he wasn't teaching them to wear their beds? So them our enemies. He was teaching them not to keep the commandments of the Most High. But the Most High said we shouldn't do them things. So that's proving that Christianity is garbage, man. Right there. He said Christianity that they should teach. So that's what these pastors teaching now. Christianity. That's what they teaching now. Christianity, man. Let's go to, all right, I got another book. I got another book, When I Was a Slave. So this book right here, When I Was a Slave. This when the war started. It say the war was begun. And this when that fake civil war started. He said the war was begun and there were stories of fights and freedom. The news went from plantation to plantation. And while the slaves acted natural and some even more polite than usual, they prayed for freedom. Then one day I heard something that sounded like thunder, and masters and misses began to walk around and act queer. The ground, this is a slave, this is a slave named Murray Anderson. This is her story, her interview she gave. It say the grown slaves were whispering to each other. Sometimes they gathered in little gangs in the grove. Next day I heard it again. Boom, boom, boom. I went and asked Mrs. Is it going to rain? She said, Murray, go to the ice house and bring me some pickles and preserves. I went and got them. She ate a little and gave me some. Then she said, you can run along and play. In a day or two, everybody on the plantation seemed to be disturbed, and Master and Mrs. were crying. Masters ordered all the slaves to come to the great house at 9 o'clock. Nobody was working, and slaves were walking over the grove in every direction. At 9 o'clock, all the slaves gathered at the great house, and Master and Mrs. came out on the porch and stood side by side. You could hear a pin drop. Everything was so quiet. Then Master said, good morning. And Mrs. said, good morning, children. They were both crying. Then Master said, men and women and children, you are free. You are no longer my slaves. The Yankees will soon be here. So the Yankees fake coming to freedom or whatever. Master and Mrs. then went into the house, got two large armchairs and put them on a porch facing the avenue, and sat down side by side and remained there watching. In about an hour, there was one of the blackest clouds coming up to the avenue from the main road. It was the Yankee soldiers. They finally filled the mile-long avenue reaching from Master's house to the main Lordsburg Road and spread out over the mile square grove. The mounted men dismounted. The footmen stacked their shiny guns, began to build fires and cook. They called the slaves saying, "You are free." Slaves were whooping and laughing and acting like they were crazy. Yankee soldiers were shaking hands with the Negroes and calling them Sam and Dina and Sir and asking them questions. They busted the door to the smokehouse and got all the hams. They went to the ice house and got several barrels of brandy. Such a time. The Negroes and Yankees were cooking and eating together. The Yankees told them to come on and join them. They were free. Master and Mrs. sat on a porch and they were so humble. No Yankee bothered anything in the great house. The slaves were awfully excited. The Yankees stayed there, cooked, ate, drank, and played music until about night. Then a bugle began to blow, and you never saw such getting on horses and lining up in your life. In a few minutes, they began to march, leaving the grove, which was soon silent as a graveyard. They took masters, horses, and cattle with them and joined the main army and camped just across Cypress Creek, 1.5 miles from the master's place on the Lewisburg Road. When they left the county, lot of the slaves went with them, and soon there were none of master's slaves left. They wandered around for a year from place to place, fed and working most of the time some other slave owner's plantation and getting more homesick every day. The second year after the surrender, our master and missus got on their courage and went and looked up all the Negroes they heard of whoever belonged to them. Some who went off with the Yankees were never heard from again. When Master and Mrs. found any of theirs, they would say, "We'll come back home." My father and mother, two uncles, and their families moved back. Also, Lorenz Brody and John Brody and their families moved back. Several of the young men and women who once belonged to them came back. Some were so glad to get back they cried. Cause fair and been mighty bad part of time. Cause fair had been mighty bad part of the time. They were rambling around and they were hungry. When they got back, Master would say, "Well, you have come back, have you?" And the Negroes would say, "Yes, Master." Most of all spoke of them as Mrs. and Master, as they did before the surrender. And see that? They was free, but it kept them slaves so long. Even when the war broke out, they had an opportunity to be free. They ain't know what to do. So they went back to Master, went back to calling them Master. They went back to the plantation crying and going back to calling them Master and all that. That's how comfortable they was and spoiled. It say, when they got back, the Master would say, "Well, you have come back, have you?" And the Negroes would say, "Yes, Master." Most all spoke of them as Mrs. and Master, as they did before the surrender. And getting back home, say that. And getting back home, I'm almost finished, was the greatest pleasure of all. We stayed with the Master and Mrs. and went to their church, the Maple Springs Baptist Church, until they died. So you see that, Salakia. He came over here trying to cut the remote on, cut the TV on. Salakia. Yeah, so these people, they got free from the Civil War broke out They got free, but it was so hard for them to live on their own. They came back, the master calling the master, crying and all that. It was too hard for them. You know what I mean? And what it say? It say they came back home was the greatest pleasure of all. We stayed with master and missus and went to their church, the Maple Springs Baptist Church, until they died. So this the Baptist church. Now we gonna see about this Baptist church. The Baptist church was started by a white man, so-called white man named John. His name was John Smith in 1612. Started the Baptist church. Go to that name. So remember what I read in the other book about, he was saying with the slave, what they had to give the slaves. Christianity, Baptist is another form of Christianity is based on the belief of, if you get that, you could be a flaming faggot, but if I dip you in some water, when you come back up, you ain't gonna be a faggot no more. When that ain't even true. I got baptized when I was 12. I ain't feel no change. I felt like the same nigga when I got up. Hold on, John Smith. It say in 1612, Thomas Hales established a Baptist congregation in London, consisting of congregants from Smith's Church. Okay, trying to get to what I was trying to get to. Let me see. That's basically all what I wanted though. So we started that joint in 1612, man. This after the Renaissance period. So this showing right here, they never was gonna give us the real truth of the Bible. What I read in a page from that other book, he said they had two options: to give us theological school or to give us truth for the Bible. You know what I mean? They ain't do that. They kept brainwashing us with theological school reference. You know what I mean? Theological school doctrine. So that's what they did. So, oh yeah, I know what I wanted to read off of that. It say, hold on, see what it go back to what it was based on. Okay, it say Baptists formed a major branch of Protestant Christianity, distinguished by baptizing professing believers only believers baptism, as opposed to infant baptism, and doing so by complete immersion. So that's all it was based on. And what else it say? Diverse from their beginning, those identified as Baptists today differ widely from one another in what they believe, how they worship, their attitudes toward other Christians, and their understandings of what important in Christian discipline. Okay. So basically, okay, it's getting into how it's spreaded and all that. Go to origins. Basically, it's based on immersion in the water, man. So that's going back to that other book. So let's see if they really was looking out for us. What I read in the other book, it said they had two options: to give us theological school doctrine or to give us the truth of the Bible. So let's see if they really was giving. Didn't them slaves just say they went back to master, calling the master, and stayed there till they died? Let's go back. Chapter 3, For it said, and the Negroes would say, he said when they got back, master would say, well, you have come back, have you? And the Negroes would say, yes, master. Most all spoke of them as Mrs. and Master, as they did before the surrender. And getting back home was the greatest pleasure of all. Them Negroes was so pressed to get back to master. It say, we stayed with master and Mrs. and went to their church, the Maple Springs Baptist Church, until they died. So these is testimonies from real slaves. Said they went back to mass. Said when the Civil War broke out, supposed to free the slaves. They was free, but they lived on a plantation so long, and they wasn't taught nothing that gave them any type of knowledge. They was kept just slaves. They ain't know how to take care of themselves. So they ran back to master, and what it say? They went to the Baptist church with them to the day they died. But didn't I read the Doctrine of Baptist Church by John Smith? It's a complete immersion. What happened when somebody dip you in water? They immerse you in water. When you immerse something, that means you dipping it in the water. You dipping it in something. If I say I pushed his head in the water, I immersed his head in the water. So they stayed there back with Master and was following John Smith doctrine until they died. And they had the option to be free, but it was too hard for them by then. So now we about to go and see. We about to go and see, is that the real, that Baptist getting dipped in water? Is that really what it is? Is that something of the Most High? I see what the Most High God say about it. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Ephesians 5:26. Now we about to see if these devils was really for Negroes or not. The book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 26. It say that he might, okay, go up to 25. It say, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ has loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word. So, man, that Baptist stuff is garbage, man. You could take a flaming faggot and dip it in water. When he come back up, he's still going to be a faggot. You only can change people with the word of the Most High. That's the only way, because these words are spirit. They are life. And the only way you can change people's spirit is with the word of the Most High. So they went back to master, living a false doctrine till they died. That's what they did. So even though it seemed like that they master and all that was for them, they basically was devils. They basically was devils teaching them a false doctrine to the day they died. And they thought master was their friend. You know what I mean? Got this on my phone. They thought master was their friend when he wasn't. So let's go to how they can pull all this stuff off. Now let's go to Genesis 27 and 40. The book of Genesis, chapter 27. And verse 40. It say, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it should come to pass. Hold on, let's go over to 38. And Esau, the so-called white man, said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? So let's jump down to his blessing. And by the sword shalt thou live. So don't they live by the gun? Don't anytime the so-called white man get in a beef with a nation, they go on a war. That's the sword. Don't they kill you in different kind of ways? They poison you. That's the sword too. Anything that you can kill somebody with is a modern day sword. They medicine, they medical system, they food, they water, they philosophies, because they philosophies lead you down the wrong way. All that stuff considered a sword. Because it's not like they doing something by accident or they don't mean to do it. They thought they was doing the right thing and they ain't mean to do it. Man, these devils doing that stuff on purpose, man. How people keep falling for that madness, man. These devils is our enemies, man. It's like lions and hyenas. We just not gonna get along. Real Negroes, we hate the white man just like he hate us. Cause we lions. They the hyenas. Cause what do hyenas do? They steal. Lions kill meat righteously. They kill the meat, and what hyenas do? Hyenas steal. They come and try to be scavengers and steal what the lions done killed. That's the so-called white man. They the hyenas and we the lions. See this lion on my shirt? We the lions of Judah. They the damn hyenas of the Caucasus Mountains, man. Goddamn dogs, man. These peoples is dogs. Let's go to now the back stretch. Let's go to Sirach 11:31. The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 31. It say, oh, hold on. So it say, by the washing of the water of the word. Let's get some more. Let's get some more on it. So not only is they teaching a false doctrine, let's see something else they doing. Let's see what else they doing. The book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? So these devils ain't even supposed to be teaching the Bible. I seen Joel Osteen this morning. That devil ain't supposed to be touching our book. The Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? What is you devils doing teaching my Bible? That's basically what the Most High saying. I ain't saying it. That's what the Most High God said. These devils ain't even supposed to be touching our book. So not only is they teaching us lies out the book, they ain't even supposed to touch it in the first place. Let's get some more proof on that. Let's go to 147, Psalms 147, and Psalms 147 and 19. It say he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. Man, the Most High ain't dealing with these other nations, man. He ain't dealing with them. He told you right there, he said he have not dealt so with any nation. So why do we see Joel Osteen reading our book? Why we see this Korean devil I be seeing on TV teaching? This African preacher I be saying? What is they doing with our book? What is they doing with it? The Most High God said, he said, he showed his word unto Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Negroes. He said his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, his Bible. It say he have not dealt so with any nation, and for his judgments they have not known them. Praise Yahweh, because we the ones that he gave the book to, so we the only ones that can sin and break his laws. That's why he's punishing us. That's why he punishing us. Know what I mean? He ain't punishing them. He gave them free reign on the earth because we being wicked. So they can do what they want until the new kingdom set up that everybody gotta follow the laws. Or you gonna get put to death. Plain and simple. Let's get some more on that and prove it. Let's go to Joel 2, Joel 2 and 27. Let's go to Joel 2 and 27. It say, and ye shall know that I'm in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people should never be ashamed. He say, I'm in the midst of Israel, and I'm the Lord your God, and none else. So the Most High said, and none else. He said, I'm in the midst of Israel. I'm the Lord your God, and none else. Talking about the Negroes, man. He said, I'm y'all God, and I ain't nobody, I ain't the true and living God, Yahweh, the power. He said, I'm your God, and none else. He don't care about these other people on earth. They just regular people to him that we was meant to rule over, but we messed up. So he let us see how it feel to let them rule the earth so we can see. So we can see how stuff really is. Let's see why the Most High did. Let's go to 11:31. The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 31. It say, for he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy of praise will lay blame upon thee. So the brothers out there teaching it's saying things worthy of praise, teaching the Most High word, the truth of his word, that's worthy of praise. But they say we teaching hate. Oh yeah, y'all out there teaching hate. Let's go back. It say, for he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy of praise will they blame upon thee. Oh, y'all teaching that Bible, y'all teaching hate. Things worthy of praise will lay blame upon thee. Y'all ain't the real. Y'all claiming y'all the chosen people. Y'all wrong. And in things worthy of praise will lay blame upon thee. We tired of our condition. We fighting, trying to raise our people up, but we looked at like we doing something wrong. And in things worthy of praise will lay blame upon thee. Man, these people some devils, man. They don't want us to wake our people up on nothing. They want us to keep being niggas and keep just living like niggas. That's what they want us to do. It say they laugh and wait, and it say things worthy of praise, they will lay blame. So that's what they doing now. We doing a righteous thing that the Most High want us to do and the way to live. They saying we doing the wrong thing. Let's get some more on it. Sirach. And while they laying blame and saying we doing the wrong thing, let's see what they doing. The book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 26. It say the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water. They poison the water. Fire. They use fire, dropping bombs on people, guns and all that. It say iron. They use the iron to make the weapons and to make all these contraptions. And salt of flour. They putting too much salt in food, killing you. They giving us bleached flour that's poison to us. What else? It say honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. You know what I mean? They mixing the fabrics in the clothing. They ain't supposed to be doing that. It say all these things are for good to the godly, to the sinners they are turned into evil. So that's what these devils doing. Everything that's righteous, they making this stuff evil. That's what they doing. So even when it comes to the book, that was for good for us too. It didn't mention that, but that was something for good. They took that and turned it into evil too. Let's go back to Sirach 11 and 32. It say, let's see how they did it. It say a spark of fire, a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man lay in wait for blood. So them devils couldn't wait till they got the science of how to manipulate metal to make weapons and all that. They need metal to make the casings to them nuclear bombs. When they drop the atom bomb, to their jets, to their submarines, they tanks. They had to take fire to make that. They couldn't wait to do that. They couldn't wait to do that, man. Let's go to it say the sinful man lying wait to shed blood. Let's see on another level how they couldn't wait to start killing Negroes, man. Let's go to Lamentations. Let's go to Lamentations. Lamentations. Come here, Zayda. Come here. Stand right there. Say Shalom. Shalom. All right, go ahead. Lamentations 4 verse 18. It say they hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Then they do that and they had a jump out squad. We couldn't really hang out there without we was getting jumped out on every day. Getting stalked out there. Especially back in the day. They still stalking Negroes now, but they really was doing it back then. Verse 19. Oh, verse 18. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. That's how you feel out there. We used to feel like the day could be my last day. You know what I mean? That's how we used to feel. Because that's how they used to act, like they wanted to kill us for real, but couldn't. A lot of brothers was unlucky when police jumped out on them. Verse 19, it say, our persecutors are swifter than eagles of heaven. So there go that eagle again. You know what I mean? Let's get some more on. It say they swifter than eagles in heaven. Just when you think you doing good and you laid back and you bucking the system, they come out of nowhere, running in your house, jumping out on you, sending you court papers. They done indicted you on something you thought you was getting away with. Let's go to Obadiah 4. It say they swifter than the eagles of heaven. I can just quote Obadiah 4. It say, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest amongst the stars. Who are the people that symbol is the eagle that kept talking about they gonna go in space? Kennedy. Was that 69 or 59? Kennedy was talking about he gonna go to space and all that. They the ones who kept proclaiming that they was gonna go into space and all that. You know what I mean? They the ones who did that. Said they was gonna do that. It say Lamentations 4:19. It say our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains and laid wait for us in the wilderness. That's literally talking about when we ran out of Jerusalem or whatever. You know what I mean? We got kicked out of Israel. But on another level, we in the wilderness of North America. Because this ain't our land. So basically, when you go somewhere that's not your land, you basically in the wilderness. You know what I mean? It's wild to you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because ain't nothing is in order. You know what I mean? Well, if you got a domesticated dog and a wild dog, the domesticated dog is in order. The wild dog not. So over here, we ain't in order. So we in the wilderness over here. Let's go to Zechariah 11:5. Quote that one. It say, our possessors slay us and hold us not guilty. Then we get sent over here on slave ships. These devils we got sent over here by the Africans as cargo on slave ships. Don't the police kill us and hold themselves not guilty? Don't they do that? Romans 8:36. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. That's how our people feel. We used to be out there. Our people killed all the day long, man. We counted sheep for the slaughter. That's how they killing us. They the wolves, we the sheep. Because our people wanna, that don't mean we is, but we ain't. We a nation of warriors, but we been docile down. You know what I mean? We want to love everybody. So everybody else is like the wolves that's preying on us. You know what I mean? That's how we accountable sheep for the slaughter. Because everybody preying on our money and preying on our lives. Let's go to Amos 1:11. Say we accounted sheep for the slaughter. Let's see another way why. The book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11. It say, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. It say for 4 transgressions of Edom. Edom is the biblical name of the so-called white man. They call the Edomites. It say, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. The Most High saying he not going to turn away the punishment on these devils. It say because he did pursue his brother with the sword. So in Rebecca's womb, she had Esau and Jacob. Esau was our evil twin brother. It say, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did set perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So that is saying ever since we was in these devils' custody in captivity, they've been killing us with the sword, whether they was hanging us, throwing our babies to alligators, poisoning us, doing all these different ways to kill us. It say perpetually. It saying he kept his wrath forever. So that means now these devils still got a wrath towards us now. They can't wait. I seen a video where the police went a brother alarm. This dude was a successful businessman. His alarm accidentally went off in his house. The police came, these rookies, they couldn't wait. They was about to bust this man in his own house. And he was telling them it was his house and all that. You know what I mean? Until they captain came and was looking stupid talking about this the homeowner. Hey, so these people hate us, man. I don't know when our people gonna get it through their thick head. They not. Because 2/3 of our people gonna die holding on. Ebony and Ivory. And we are the world and all that. They gonna just keep, because they blind. They don't see it. But the Most High gonna make their ass see. I'm the God of this earth. Not these devils y'all want to keep getting blonde hair and all that. I told y'all don't envy thy oppressor. What's that? Is that Proverbs 3 and 31? Let's get it. I got one more precept left. Let's go to Proverbs. I believe that's Proverbs 3 and 31. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Yeah. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Nah, I'm going to wear blonde hair. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Now, I want to dress, I want to wear suits and ties and be like the white man. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. The Most High telling you right there, man. I can go on a deeper level. We being oppressed by these philosophies and doctrines. Oh, nah. I want to shave my head bald like an Egyptian and have one doodle plait on the side. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Oh, I want to look like Muhammad and claim I'm an Arabian, I'm a Muslim, and go to Mecca. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Oh, I want to be a Baptist like the white man, get dipped in water. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. I want to go to Christian church where I can eat pork and my woman can come in there looking like a whore and we can do what we want and God's still going to be for us. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. I can be all about money and don't care about my people like the white man do. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Man, the Most High said don't be like these devils, man, these other nations, man. That's why we're in captivity now, dummies. Our people need to wake up and smell the goddamn coffee, man. That's why we at the bottom. That's why we got to get food stamps and Section 8. We driving buckets. We living in shacks. We living in the poor neighborhoods. Because the Most High told us to be Israelites. Be who we is. Wear your fringes. Remember who you is. He said rethink yourself. He said if we rethink ourselves in the land of our captivity, then he gonna his. That's what the Most High said. And this is what he also said. The note I'm going to end it on. The book of Baruch chapter 4. Baruch chapter 4 verse 25. It say, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. Now it's coming from the so-called white man. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. Now I'm at the bottom because I'm just lazy and I'm dumb and I don't know nothing. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God. Hold on. Let's see why it say the wrath that's coming upon us from God. Let's see why. Let's see why it's the wrath that's coming upon us from the Most High. Deuteronomy 28 verse 1. He said, and it shall come to pass if we shall hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, and the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Nah, if we do what he say, he gonna curse us. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city. Now, we listen to him, we going to be cursed in the city. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shalt thou be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy ground. Now, my kids going to be cursed, and I ain't going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to grow nothing. Own no land to grow nothing. Blessed shalt thou be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy ground. Blessed shall thou be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall thou be. Like now, we don't own no stores and no warehouses, but we following God, but he's still gonna curse us. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in and when thou goest out. Ain't we born in the ghetto, in the hoods and all that? And when your ass die, you leaving bills to your kids. They can't even bury you because you ain't leave them nothing. Because that's how poor you spent your whole life working to keep your house, your car, and all that. You ain't had no money saved up to leave to your kids like these devils do. Because they got generational wealth. They passing wealth down from generation to generation. So that's why these devils got money. It ain't because they so damn smart, that these devils is dumb. They ain't invent nothing, they use a name. Nah, they smarter than the Negro, and the Negroes invented the cars, the airplane, the cell phones, and the internet, but these devils smarter than us. Man, these devils is dumb, man. We the salt of the earth, like the scriptures say in Matthew. Now let's go to what the Most High said he gonna do if we didn't follow. He said, but it shall come to pass, this verse 15. What it should come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe to do all his commandments and all his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. Nah, if we don't listen to God, we still gonna be blessed by God. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. Ain't we at the bottom in all the cities on the earth? And cursed shall thou be in the field. Now we gonna be blessed in the field. Sugarcane field, rice field, cotton field, the work field, last hire, first fire. Now we the first ones to get hired on jobs, and we the last ones to get fired. Cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall thou be thy basket in thy store. Now, if we don't listen to God, we're going to be blessed to have stores. We're going to have conglomerates all over the earth. Big Mama's chicken, you can find that in China. When you only, for real, you only can find it in Louisiana, one spot, one place. Cursed shall thou be thy basket in thy store. Oh, that mom and pop store, they got that all over the United States and over the world. Cursed shall thou be thy basket in thy store. Now we blessed. We living good. Cursed shall thou be thy basket in thy store. Man, we don't own nothing, man. Baruch chapter 4, verse 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly. So he basically put these devils over. For thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction. So we're going to witness these devils, America, get destroyed. The Negroes that's still alive at the time. It say, and shall tread upon his neck. This place going to be spoiled. We're going to have these devils in chains. It say, and tread upon his neck. Revelations 13, 9 and 10 say, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And Exodus 21 and 16 say, even if he be found in this, it say if he stealeth a man, or if he, that mean if he, like if the white man actually was the one to go get us and put us in slavery, it say, or if he be found in his hand. So ain't we found in their hand? They ain't sell us, they ain't go steal us, but we found in their hand. They accepted stolen property. Don't the white man lock you up for receiving stolen property? It say they should surely be put to death. So, man, them peoples is our enemies, man, and our people need to wake up, man. You know what I mean? And on that note, shalom, shalom to the 12 tribes that scattered abroad. This Zephaniah Yasha Allah, or Zephaniah Yahaya Kayasha Allah, Zephaniah. treasured warrior spirit for the Most High God, Yahweh, spiritual assassin for the Most High God, Yasha'Allah, Israel, aka Yah Mordecai. To the 12 tribes scattered abroad, James 1 and 1, greeting. Stick together, y'all.